Hi, everyone. This is Tony Colangelo. I'm here with my good friend, Wayne Capelli. Hi, Wayne.
Hello?
And we are delighted to be here together to talk about a topic that is very exciting for the both of us that I think can help all types of photographers, whether you're doing real estate or interior design or architectural photography. Shooting twilights can help your photography business enormously. And because of the importance of this topic, we're going to actually break this up into two parts. So today we're going to, in this part, we are going to be talking about some of the more foundational elements of doing twilights. And in our next episode of Photo Notes, we're going to be talking about some editing techniques to get the best out of our photos. Right, Wayne?
Yeah. Also, what I wanted to point out is one of my major clients 2 years ago made me start doing dusk shots and doing it at a very high level, because they found out that dusk shots inside of a tour and when people are going through pictures hold the intention of the people looking through a particular house. So
really,
yeah,
yeah,
that's why a lot of large companies start off with a dusk shot, because
yeah.
it pulls their attention and it keeps their attention. So being able to do a really good dusk shot is imperative.
Well, that's very important to know because I think we all have the intuitive sense that doing a dusk shot or a twilight shot just adds to the wow or the sexiness factor of a listing. But it's good to know that there's actually organizations out there that have data that prove these types of things that you've mentioned. So that's great.
Yep. So what do you got?
Well, in terms of twilights, Wayne, I'm a big believer, and I might be stating the blatantly obvious. The success of any twilight shot starts not when you push the button, it starts in the preparation way, way before. And I just want to spend a couple of minutes talking about it. This is a site that I use. If you're going to be doing a twilight shot, a dusk shot, you better know when twilight and dusk is. So I use this particular site, bluehoursite.com, and it tells me exact times for both morning and evening, sunset, sunrises, twilights, dusk, and you can punch in a date for whatever part of the world you're in, and it will give you the exact time. So that's really, really important. The other big preparation piece, of course, is getting out to the site early and really scouting out the different angles that you take, thinking through your compositions. And one of the advantages of getting out really early, so for me, for a twilight shot, I'm always out there at least 50, 60 minutes before, not only to do the technical stuff, like make sure that everything's working. I've changed, if I've done a photo shoot for the whole day at this particular property, and now I'm going to be doing twilights, I'm going to change up batteries. I want to make sure that my camera and my flashes are all set to go for the twilight portion, right?
Wait, okay. So when you go to a twilight, have you previously shot the house before, or is the house that you're shooting primarily there just for a twilight?
I've done both, but primarily the twilights are attached to the shoot.
Right. So it's not like you're going in really cold, knowing, and you really have to find the angles, but you have a kind of an idea of how the house is laying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so about an hour before, once I make sure that everything is working in working order, I'm going out and scouting for different angles. So once you know exactly when twilight and dusk are going to be, now if you're out there early, you've got extra time to walk around, to find the angles that are most interesting. And because you're there an hour before twilight, you're going to have some wonderful golden hour light to take advantage of. So you can take shots like this, on this angle, on different angles, maybe this one point here, maybe a 3/4 shot. The architect really liked this shot because it showed how many layers of depth were designed into this house, right?
So are you walking around with you're not hand holding these, you're actually going around with your tripod, setting it up and doing the shot while we have the light?
Yeah, I mean, typically, once I've got all my gear set up and I know everything's working, I will take a quick walk around the house, choose angles, then go get my tripod and put them in those spots and take the shot.
Now, do you mark your locations, or do you
All the time, because if I've got a great location, I want to mark it somehow. So I might take some of, some pebbles from off of the driveway here and place them around where my tripod legs, where I was standing, where I want my tripod legs to be. That's a big piece, is getting the angles for the best possible composition. And I think it's really important to give yourself the time to do this. And actually, Wayne, I would like to show you an example why having that time is so important. So here on this particular house, beautiful house. As you can see, there's still a lot of sun in the sky. I originally chose this angle here. And as you can see by my cursor, my lens is pointed on the edge of the first third of the house. So I'm sitting there, Wayne, and I'm thinking something doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is, but it kind of feels like the house is lopsided. I've got too much weight of the house on the right being pushed into the right edge of the frame, right? So what I did, and I had time to do this, I wasn't fretting, I wasn't anxious or nervous. I took 2 or 3 giant strides to the right, and I found this position. And as you can see, my camera, my lens is looking much closer to the center of the house. But the added benefit of this, and what felt better to me, was that by choosing this particular angle, I got this depth right here. I got to see this side of this third of the house, and it added some depth to my composition.
Can you go back to the other picture?
Yeah.
So this, if you quickly just go between the two of them, if you look, what happens is that this really looks like this looks just flat.
Yeah.
And the weight is off to the right because that it doesn't give any, the left side doesn't have any weight to it. And it really is literally flat. So just stepping over a little bit, it actually gives it volume and weight to the picture.
That's right. So again, for a number of our viewers who are experienced at doing twilights, saying that you need to be there early that's a best practice. They already know that. But for some of our viewers who perhaps are just starting with twilights, I will share, get out there early. The likelihood of success for your twilight shoot is going to go way up if you've done this sort of scouting and thinking through of things. And it just gives you a little bit of peace of mind and confidence for when the sun does get to a spot where you're actually at sunset and you start shooting.
Well, there's actually even a more practical sense, a practical thing that you want to do it when it's sunny or just where you can see it, because as it gets dark, you really can't see your equipment. You need to, depending upon how well you know your equipment, you literally are in the dark with your equipment. So you want it placed, and you want to make sure that all the settings are right and everything. And it's just much easier when you can see what you're doing.
Yeah. And another variable, if we go back to this house here, you can see how dark the lawn is here, Wayne. And that's because, so here I was out well before sunset, and it looks as if sunset has already started because the lawn is already dark. Well, then behind me was like a huge set of trees, and it was starting to darken things.
Right.
right? So even though the sun is at a position where technically it's not sunset,
Yeah.
holy jumping, it really snuck up on me fast.
Yeah.
So being out there really, really early saved this particular shot. So Wayne, I've been talking a little bit about taking, getting out there early, taking advantage of that beautiful golden hour light. And I know this particular topic is really important to you. So why don't I turn it over to you now?
Okay. So one of the things about having the light perfect on the outside, like the golden hour, and that the light is really nice on the outside of the house, it's now you have to start kind of understanding that the inside of the house also has balanced light. So, we have this shot, and this is just a basic, really straight out of the camera shot. But, if we look inside, this is the actual light on the inside of the house. So
wow.
if we can see that the outside is balanced and the inside is balanced, take your camera inside, because this is what's inside the house. There is that really nice moment that all things are in line, and you have to take advantage of it. So
that's fantastic. That's great advice.
yeah. So in like this one, this is not a sky replacement. This is the way it really was. And you can see the clouds going through the house, and you can actually see inside the living room.
Yeah.
And both these things are all balanced.
That's
So
wonderful.
after I took this, I really just stepped inside and took advantage of the balance between the inside and the outside lights.
So tell me something, Wayne.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the exterior that you just showed?
Yes.
So for our viewers, particularly those who are like kind of starting out now, doing Twilights, do you remember what your settings, even if you don't remember on this shot, generally speaking, when you're doing an exterior, what are your preferred settings for your camera?
I shoot probably like at f8, and this is probably a third of a second. And in our next thing, what happens is if you look at the trees or these bushes here, I actually lit these with flash, so we can actually have that separation, so it wasn't black there.
Oh, nice.
So those are actually lit with flash, and you can see it more clearly here that this is lit with flash, so it's not black and then sky. But again, the flash and all the exposures were all the same, so I didn't have to change anything from going from the outside to the inside.
So that was going to be my next point, because I want to reassure everybody that you're not fiddling with your camera's dials. If you've got great light outside, and the interior lights are balanced with the outside light, well, if you're shooting f8 outside, then the odds are you're going to be shooting f8 inside.
Absolutely. So let me give you another really extreme example.
Just before you go there, what's your ISO at?
400.
400. Okay.
So this shot is, this turned out really, really well. And again, I know when I shoot my sunsets or dusk shots, I'm normally using 2 or 3 cameras, because I know that the outside's going to look great, the inside's going to look great, and all I need to do is go inside and take the picture. Right. So this is very little post, but this is the same outside as inside. You can actually see that they are balanced. Yeah. And take your camera inside and take a picture.
And again, from a preparation point of view, going outside the house, but also inside of the house, and visualizing the twilight shot from inside the house that you want. Yep. Because the light is going down really, really quickly. So you better be hoofing it to that spot with your tripod and take that shot, because that balance that you're talking about is only going to last, a few minutes at most.
As a matter of fact, I have this. This is, took this picture inside, and I went outside, and this is what I got.
Oh
So,
my goodness, that fast, eh?
yeah. Well, I mean, I had to run through the house. One of the things about this picture is a lot of people really like this picture. They really do. And I just
No way.
I wanted to make a point that,
Yeah.
um,
I think I know what you're going to say.
yeah, that although this is a good picture, this is a picture of the inside of the house. This is showing the living space. So if this was a different kind of house, if people were actually walking around here, this is kind of a stalker view of the house.
A
You know,
voyeur. Let's not bring criminality
yeah,
into this. Let's
yeah,
call it voyeur.
yes. Because what happens is, if you say really, this is and this is just a matter of minutes that we have this look. This is actually showing the house. This is showing the view. This is showing its proximity to the water.
The context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we're supposed to do for a dusk shot.
Yeah.
Here, although it's a nice picture, we really are showing the inside of the house. We are showing we really are prying into the house. And if there
Yeah.
are people in the house and it's dark and everything, it's kind of like, that's,
It's a little creepy.
it's a little creepy. It's a little creepy. Although it's a nice picture,
Yeah.
you just kind of understand the exposures for the insides of the house are. We are exposed for the house, and literally this is for the inside of the house. So if we had models or things like that, that would be a more of a lifestyle picture, but
Yeah.
know that this is the inside of the house.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. So we have talked about, this is going to be the first of a two-part series. And so we've talked about some of the foundational elements of doing a twilight shot. We really hope that you'll join us next time when we're going to be talking about editing twilight shots, and Wayne is going to talk about some really cool ways of balancing exterior and interior light, and to do it kind of easy peasy. So we hope you'll join us. As per usual, Wayne will put our contact information at the end of our video if you'd like to reach out to us with an idea for a topic or what have you. But we will have part 2 of our Twilight episode of Photo Notes coming out shortly. So please join us then, and thank you for joining us today. And as always, thank you, Wayne.
no, thank you very much. Really, as far as subject goes, I've been looking forward to doing this one because lots to share.
Very cool. Okay. Thanks again. Join us soon. And Wayne, we'll chat soon.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye.